All right, guys, as promised, I'm going to do a more detailed update on the Modite or the Cloud Defensive Rein versus the Modite. And I did do some more testing, much as I could, 100-yard indoor range, as well as 25 yards in my backyard. That's the farthest I could get out this time of year. I do plan on doing one at 300 plus yards up in my range. Just haven't had a chance because of the weather and such to get up there. So let's go ahead. A lot of this is going to be, there's going to be some shooting footage and some footage comparing the lights. I'm going to first start talking about, like, really honestly, these are the two lights you should be looking at for your weapon. They're really the best options out there on the market by far. They are a little bit more expensive, so I do still recommend the Streamlight HLX Pro Tac for a budget option. But, you know, it's worth spending a little extra money, especially when they go on sale. So Cloud Defensive had some great sales over Black Friday, over Christmas. I think they may still be on sale for 20% off right now. So take a look. I'm not sure that when this video goes live, they still are, but we're going to talk about a lot of different things and comparing these two lights. First, we're going to talk about cost, lumens, candela, durability, mounts, smaller, if there's a smaller version available, the weight of each one, the runtime on one 1860-50 battery, a few other features like the length and just some other specs. So let's go ahead and get started. Cost. Let's talk about the Modite first. It's the most expensive. Comes in at $309. That's for the base light. That's the head and the body. That's it. You got to buy this Surefire switch. This Surefire switch lets you have the permanent on as well as using the pressure pad for momentary on. So I recommend that one. That switch is like, I think probably 100 something bucks, maybe 90 bucks for that switch. So you got to add the cost of that. So right now you're about $400, and then you add the either the Cloud Defensive LCS, which is going to be, you know, 70 bucks, or you go with the Modite button, which is $120. So really you're over 500 bucks into this setup, realistically, for the Modite. For the Cloud Defensive Rein, I paid, because I got a Black Friday deal, I think I paid like $270 for everything. That includes the light, because it comes with its own tail cap. It's proprietary. It does have permanent on, and it comes with their switch, which also has momentary and permanent on, and it has the LCS built in. I mean, you can get that whole package. The list price is $309. Right there, you're saving almost $200, guys. It's a no-brainer when you're thinking about value. I could probably stop the video there, but I won't, because we're going to talk more about other features. So, lumen output. This is the PLH V2 head. Now, they do have the other options. I think the PLH V2 is the most well-rounded head for the Modite. It gives you a good mix of throw, and it's not all throw like the other, which I can't think of what the other one's called off the top of my head, but there's some other heads, but this one is like the best balance, and it's most comparable to the Rein. So lumen output on the Modite is 1350. On the Rein, it's 1400. Not a huge difference, not very noticeable to the naked eye. Candela, though, is going to be noticeable, and it wasn't noticeable in my testing because I didn't stretch it out. If it's out to those longer distances, it's really we're going to see the Cloud Defensive Rein 60,000 plus candela outshine the 54,000. Now, at the ranges I tested, it was not noticeable really at all. But it, you know, it is technically on stats, has more candela and more lumens, so advantage there. Durability, they've both proven to be very durable. However, the Cloud Defensive Rein has a user serviceable lens that they shot with simunition rounds, and it took multiple simunition rounds without any issues. They didn't test the Modite. They did test the Surefire. If you go on their Instagram, they have a video up. And the Surefire 600 series did not do nearly as well. And those are known to be very durable, and those are lights that are on military-issued weapons overseas. So I don't think you have anything to worry about with the Cloud Defensive or really the Modite with durability. But I would probably give the slight edge to the Rein. It's just a little more robust feeling too. Mounts are going to be easy. That's a wash because you can use any kind of air socket. I have both air socket mounts on both of these guns, and there's tons of mounts available. But I know Cloud Defensive does have their own mount as well, so that might be an advantage you could get as a whole package with that. They both do offer an 18350 battery version of smaller versions of these lights that don't lose really any performance as far as they do on runtime, and that's about it. Otherwise, and I honestly wish I would have gone with the smaller Rein. The Modite's on my full size 16-inch BCM, where this is on an 11.5 inch. So I kind of wish I would have been smaller, but that's not, that's just something I wish I would have done. Weight wise, the Modite is lighter by about an ounce and a half. It's 5.4 ounces versus 6.9. Like I said though, the Rein is a little beefier, so you feel that in the weight. The runtime is really where things get different too. The Rein has a 120 minute runtime on a 118/650, where the Modite is 75. Pretty big difference there. So not only is the Rein putting out more lumens and more candela, it's also putting out a longer runtime on one battery. Also has the field serviceable lens, which the Modite does not, and the length is going to be a little bit longer. The Rein is an overall bigger light. The advantage goes to the Modite at 5.5 inches long. That I don't think that's with this switch though. Let's just see. My calipers are going to go out that far. They're not. Well, they do, minus the cable. With that switch, it's over 6 inches, whereas it's about the same, honestly. So when you have this switch on, it's about the same. That's about a wash. Really, it's really not an advantage for the Modite because of that switch. So those were the specs I was going to cover on this. I'll roll in the footage now, shooting at the 100-yard indoor range, 25 yards in my backyard. Like I said, at these ranges, you're not noticing a difference. The biggest difference you're going to notice is the temperature of the lights. This runs a cooler white emitter, where this is more natural, warmer. That could come down to personal preference. So let's roll that footage and then we'll kind of wrap up the video. All right, we're out in the back of my yard testing the Modite and the Cloud Rein versus each other. 25 yards away, you can't really see because it's dark. I'll light it up right now. There's a silhouette in my garage. See that? It's like a purple silhouette target I use for dry fire. It's about exactly 25 yards away from where I'm standing. Not the farthest test of these, obviously. As you'll see in the next footage, we have some indoor footage at 100 yards. But just wanted to show you just some beam comparisons between these two. And for like a median, we'll use my Surefire stiletto, so handheld light. So that's my stiletto. You can see the beam pattern is much more floody, and you can kind of make out that silhouette, but not very well, right? You can see it, but not detailed. Like, for instance, if it was armed, like it was a person. When you shine the Rein, let me put it on full time, I can see that as bright as day. So let me try to zoom in a little bit with the camera. Okay, so that's about as far as I can zoom just on my iPhone 12. Light off, light on. You can make out the details even of that target. So now let's look at the Modite. And I've still got the Rein kind of shining on it. There's the Modite. Let's turn the Rein off. So again, you can very clearly see the target. Notice the lot wider light, a lot more cool white. It would be the temperature we'd call this one. But both lights are at this range easily going to identify your target easily. Let's see if I can get a side by side. So I'm actually got the Modite on right now. See if it'll do it on camera. I'm just noticing some flickering going on, which is weird. And there it goes right there. Did you see that? Not sure what's happening there. That could be a battery thing. Maybe I need to charge the battery. It's kind of strange, but trying to get these side by sides is difficult because I'm by myself and trying to hold two guns up. These are mounted to rifles. All right. So there's the Modite on the left and the Rein on the right. It's just really at this distance, the candela. Now they're both shining right now on the target, and I'm noticing that the Rein, this could just be my perception, is almost washing out the Modite. So there's the Modite, and notice the Rein. Is almost washing it out. That may be that extra candela. This distance, didn't think that would be, a thing. Let me turn off constant on. Just see. I'm not getting that flickering any longer, which is good. And now I'm not noticing that as much. So maybe with the constant on, that's weird. So there's some side-by-sides. Left is the Modite, right is the Rein. I think at this distance you're not going to notice any difference. Really where the Rein, I think, is going to shine a little bit above the Modite is at long ranges. That extra candela giving it that little extra throw. Hopefully I can get some 300-yard plus footage. All right, one last comparison. Indoors, similar to what I did in my original weapon light test, just to see. That's the Modite indoors. Here's the Rein. Again, both, this is 7 yards, probably, down a hallway. If you're in your home. I like the natural light more than the cool white. So a lot of these are going to come down to preferences, guys. All right, we're here at the TNT 100-yard underground rifle range. It's a big, long tube, and we're going to compare the Modite PLH versus the new Cloud Defensive Rein. And we're going to do it at a few different ranges, probably mostly 50, 75, and 100 is what I was thinking. It only goes up to 100, but it's still a very dark tube. This room will be very dark, so it'll give you a good idea of how it illuminates. And then I'm going to also compare how it overcomes some other lighting. This range has some pretty cool light features where you can do like you can do like a strobe, a flash. As you can see how it's flashing. You can do police lights. So pretty cool to see how they interact with that. We can defeat that other lighting here. So let's go ahead and start at 50 yards. Second, it's going to go pitch black. And I'm going to start with the Modite. Okay. Actually, what we'll do is we'll run both side by side. We can do that. So I've got a little rest here. Actually, do you mind coming and holding? I want you to hold that gun up here in a second, point downrange. And there's a pressure pad up here. Turn it on. Point at the target. Okay, good. Okay, on the left. So far on the left, we have the PLH Modite, and I'm going to turn on. I'll leave it on. On the right, we've got the Rein. Now the Rein has a more natural light tint. The Cloud Defense or the Modite has a more white light. Now at this distance, turn yours off. Now turn yours back on. I'd say they're pretty comparable. I can't really see a difference in this distance. Let's kick it out to 75. Okay, so as soon as it gets to 75 yards, we'll turn it back on. Okay. Go ahead and turn it on. Again, that's the Modite. So this is down a dark tube with the lights all off. Turn yours off. I mean, you can easily, okay, do yours again. So that's Modite, turn off. Rein. Modite. Rein. I'd say they're pretty comparable even at that distance. Let's go out to 100. So it may come down more of a preference of if you prefer a cool white emitter versus a more natural, warmer tint. Really where they're going to shine is at 300 yards, but unfortunately this rifle range only goes to 100. Okay, go ahead. Modite. I don't know how the camera's picking that up. Let's see if we need to zoom in a little bit. No. It's not letting me see. There it goes. My camera's not picking up the target very well, but we can see it fairly easily. Okay, turn yours off. And that is the Rein. I would actually say, do yours again. Okay, turn it off. Modite. Okay. I would say they're pretty, I mean, at 100 yards, pretty comparable. You guys notice any difference?
No.
Just the more natural light of this.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're also going to compare a Streamlight ProTac HLX. So go ahead and shine that, Curtis. Okay. And then the Rein. Do the Streamlight again. And the Rein. So that distance you're going to notice also. So pretty comparable lights, honestly. Which one's shining right now? Is that the Streamlight?
No.
Oh, that's the Rein?
Mm-hmm. Rein's got the warmer.
It's definitely got a warmer tint than the other two. Alright, here's the Modite in action. My BCM. Not taking you to any gunfights. All right, guys, so like I said, it's hard to tell a difference at those ranges. I think where we really need to push it out is 300 yards, and I plan on doing that eventually, so stay tuned to the channel for that update. I'll probably just do a short video comparing the two at a certain, 300 yard, maybe 400 yards. I mean, my range goes up to 600 yards. I don't think we're going to see much of that range, but this is the camera. That's going to be a limitation there. But, going over all the specs and the cost and all of that, I mean, I don't even see why, if you're in the market, you would go with the Modite, because you spend almost $200 less with the Cloud Defensive Rein. You do have to figure in all these extra switches you need to buy. This isn't included. And if you get the Modite button, which is more available, it's on their weapon now, which is supposed to be better, you're still, way more expensive. You still have to buy a Surefire tail cap for the Modite button. It doesn't come with a tail cap. So, that's the nice thing about the Rein, is they really made it very affordable for what you're getting. Under $300 is what I paid for the entire package. Even at list price $309, it's fantastic. It's the best value out there, in my opinion. The owl is even more. The Cloud Defensive Owl is more expensive than the Rein. So it's like, I don't know. For me, it's like if I'm putting a new rifle build together and I want a weapon mounted light on it, I'm going to go with the Rein every single time because it's just a better value. It has better performance, and it's honestly probably more durable. I'm not going to go out and beat the crap out of these and test them because I paid for these with my own money. Had I gotten provided samples, I might do that. So hint, hint, Modite, Rein, if you want to see that video, send me a sample and I'll do it. But otherwise, I'm gonna every all day, every long. I mean, you can spend $200 less essentially and get a just as good, or I mean, in my opinion, better performance out of this. It just doesn't make any sense. I don't know why you'd spend the extra $200. Modlite's a great product. Don't get me wrong. No problems with mine. Actually, I did. If you notice the video, and I think it was related when I was using this switch, you can kind of see it. You can't see it. Yeah, you can. See how it's flickering when it's fully on? It has something to do with the electron. I don't know. It's something with that switch. So it's a surefire problem, not a. It looks like it stopped, but it looks like the power dimmed big time. Like I said, I need to charge the battery and find out. But when I'm doing momentary, it doesn't do it. It's just with this switch, and I don't really ever use that. I usually just use the pressure pad. But I didn't notice that on the Cloud Defensive Rein at all. So that could be a surefire problem. So that could probably, but even if you use the Modite, you still got to use their tail cap. So that could be a problem there. Or maybe it just, it might have just been loose. Well, look at that. It was just loose. So, oh nope, there it goes again. Still doing it. Yeah, really weird. I'm gonna charge the battery up, see if it's still doing that. I'm not terribly worried or concerned about that. But overall, guys, now the Rein's out. They are on back order right now, but I definitely recommend picking one up, especially if they're still on sale for 20% off because it's under $300. It's a stupidly good deal. It's only a little bit. It's only like $100. Well, you can usually get the ProTac HLX for use a package with the LCS or anything for under $150. So that's still the cheapest option. But for $100, $150 more, I would definitely save up and get the Rein. It's going to be a more durable light. It's going to outperform it by a mile too. It's not even close. These two are definitely the top performing lights on the market. That and the Cloud Defensive Owl, I will throw in there as well. So again, guys, I paid this on my own money. No affiliation with Cloud Defensive or Modite. This is just my subjective opinion, so take it for what it's worth. But I wanted to do an update video on this, give you a little bit more comparison of beam shots and such. But these two are the top dogs. But I would give the top dog to the Cloud Defensive Rein simply because it outperforms and it has better value. All right, thanks for watching, and see you next time.